everybody. In this episode of Homestead Tessie, we're going to talk a little bit about, did the things in your past dictate your future? I'm going to talk a little bit about this sensitive topic and some lessons that I have learned and some changes that I am making. Hi everybody, and welcome to today's Heart to Heart. I'm working on putting some soil in my containers here because I'm working on planting more seeds. I've been really busy planting. I think I planted more this year than every year, almost every year combined. I've been doing so much, and you will be seeing those videos coming up. There's just so many videos and so little time. I mean, seriously, 7 videos a week is a lot for a YouTuber, but I have so much content that I just got to keep it going the timeline in the proper way. But today I'm going to share with you something on my heart. And this is something I never shared with anybody before. And I think that some people will be able to relate to it. You know, in my heart to heart, I try to think, what do I want to share? What do I want to share that I haven't already shared? And that could become difficult. That could become very hard to share what you haven't shared before when you've shared for so many years. So here it goes. Back in 2007, when we were getting out of debt, we sold everything that we had that was worth money, other than antiques. You know, we didn't sell antiques, but like we sold our newer vehicles, we sold our house, we sold four-wheelers, we sold rototillers. We just pretty much sold everything that we had that was able to be sold. And for many years, in the beginning of my YouTube years too, if you go back and look at my 2017 videos, many years, I didn't have much. And little things in life then meant so much, and they still do. People often say, well, why do you get so excited over these things? I actually had a snarky person who said on my anniversary video, they said, excuse me, but these things aren't anything special. This is everyday household things that people get. And I thought to myself, wow, you ungrateful thing. I mean, in a world that's full of consumerism, in a world that's full of, you know, that kind of life, well, sure, that wasn't much. But when you lived my life, and you had stuff, and you sold it, and then you didn't have anything for a long time, when you get it again, you appreciate it so much more. But one thing I noticed about myself, and that is, and I think that people in the Great Depression went through the same thing. Now, of course, it was a lot worse for them. I'm not saying my life was like the Great Depression, but you tend to hold on to things, and you tend to save things for a rainy day. That's what I will say. And so for all those years, I didn't have much of anything. I mean, I really was scraping the barrel. I mean, literally was scraping the barrel. I remember that we would go and we would collect change. So we would get change in the car or collect change, and we would take that change and we would buy some groceries with it. I remember that. Simply because we were getting out of debt and we didn't want to be in debt. And we tried to get ourselves out of a hole that we put ourselves in, which, you know my story, we did. Without any kind of help whatsoever. We had no help from government or no help from people. You know, we didn't have any help. We did it all of ourselves. And yeah, I am kind of proud of that because that was hard work. And not everybody and most people wouldn't have done what we did. I remember one day breaking down and crying and saying, I just wish I had Tide laundry soap. To me, that was a luxury, Tide laundry soap, because I didn't have it and I couldn't get it. It was too expensive. But what I'm noticing is, because I've gone so long without, and now when I have something, I want to keep it for special. Oh, we can't use this. No, you can't use that. We're gonna buy it and we're just gonna let it sit and look at it and admire it, but we cannot use it. we gotta save it. We have to save it because, you know, if things get bad and we don't have anything, then we have it. I'm not living in the moment sometimes. I have to live intentionally. I have to live every day. Yep, I'm gonna use it. Yes, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it now and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna be afraid of losing it again. For me, that was a big fear. My fear of losing things. So if I got it, I was afraid that I would lose it. You can't live like that. And in the Great Depression, a lot of times people live that way because they held on to everything because in case they needed it. So that's the dilemma. The dilemma is, how do you prep for things get bad, but you're not in that prepping mode where you can't live your life and you can't feel like you can use anything in your prep. It's not so much a fear of mine anymore of losing everything like it used to be, but it is a fear that I don't want to go without so much. Now, a lot of people would look at me and say, I do still go without. But to me, this is luxurious living as far as, you know, if there's something I like to see, if I wanted Tide laundry soap, I could buy it. So there you go. That's my luxury. I never was a big spender. You know, I never had a lot of clothing or jewelry or shoes or purses, or I never spent like that. And those people who watch my stories, which I've done almost every year, my story, updated it, you know, that you'll understand. But I don't miss going out to eat anymore. I don't miss that. And I don't miss a lot of things, but I just feel like now when I get things, sometimes I don't want to use them. I want to hold on to them. I want to bury them. Okay, my canning garage. You know, all of those items, I love them items, but I'm not using a lot of them because we just want to look at them. We want to keep them. We want to hold on tight to them so we don't lose them anymore. I don't want to lose them. And one year I moved twice in 1 year. And when my husband talked about wanting to move, that was last fall. Was it last fall? I think it was last fall. I panicked. No, we're not moving. No, we can't move. No, we're not going to do this. No, we're not going to do that. Simply because I don't want to anymore. I don't want to. And he doesn't want to move anymore either. But, you know, when he talked about it, it's like, I just want to live the rest of my days where I'm at. I don't want anything more. But yet I gotta enjoy what I have. And that's what I'm trying to say is, I keep getting these things and thinking that, well, I didn't have them before. And now I have them, so I can't use them because we've got to save it in case I don't get it again. I don't know what to say. And it's so interesting. After my parents died, I went through this full stage where I had to have everything I had when I was a kid. Seriously. I went through this whole stage where I had to have everything I had as a kid. So, for instance, I had to have children's books that I had when I was a kid because my mom didn't save anything. My mom got rid of everything pretty much as far as when I was a kid. When we were first married and I didn't have a lot either, I wanted these magazines, and you know the story. If you don't, it's a really sweet story. But I had to have these magazines. I had to bring everything back that I wanted that I couldn't have. I had to get it, you know, and hold on to it. Hold on to that because I don't want to lose it again. And we can't be afraid of losing things. We can't be afraid of things going bad, and that we just gotta live in the moment. I know I'm rambling, but I know somebody understands that. So people, when they lived in the Great Depression, what happened was, after the Depression was over, they still held on to these things because they were afraid the Depression's gonna happen again. So you had homes that were hoarded with paper bags, baggies, things like that, because they lived that way in the Great Depression. They didn't have anything. So when they did get it, they held on to it in case they would have it again. Now, I'm not to that point. I'm not that bad. But you know what? I realize I have to live more intentionally. And if I want to get something out of my canning garage and use it, I can do so. And I don't need to wait for a rainy day. I don't need to wait for a rainy day to wear this simple bracelet that I have. I don't need to wait for a rainy day to wear a necklace that somebody gave me. See, before I would say, no, we got to keep this away because, you know, in case I could never get another one, I don't want this one to be broken. No, we live in the moment today, and we don't have to wait in anticipation that things may get bad again. We don't have to wait and worry about that. If you use your last cup of flour, use it. Because you can't hold stuff thinking that you gotta have it because if something goes bad. If something never goes bad, then you never used it. And if something does go bad, the Lord will provide. And I really dawned on me that was my flaw, my big flaw after my parents died was Mama's items. Whoa! We're gonna use Mama's items. I use Mama's items now. I use my dad's things. I don't just sit them on the shelf to look pretty. I use them. I wash them. You know, I use them. I use my quilt on my bed. You know, if I have to wash the quilt, I wash the quilt. I use it. If I bought myself something that's special because I couldn't get it many years ago, I bought it, I use it. And those are the things I'm thinking about today. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video. I don't know what I'm gonna title the video. You guys always used to come up with the best titles. I'm very bad at title making. You know, it was about when we were poor. We were poor. There was a point in our life we were very poor. And we didn't have hardly anything. And then when you're able to get something, you know, I tend to put it on the shelf and thought, I don't want to use it because I don't want to lose it. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching this rambling video. But I think somehow you might understand me. At least you always seem to understand me. Take care, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Is there anything that you have now that you couldn't have when a certain other time in your life, but you don't use it? You have it, but you're afraid to use it? I would love to know about that. I know I'm not alone in this, and I know people can understand what I'm saying. Some of you anyway. Bye, everybody.